This a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix. At us, man. Praying God come and save them. That's out here. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, where everything's fun and games. We drink and we smoke just to numb the pain. We scream for the cops when a brother gets shot, then we march for money, don't nothing change. Damn, I'm tired of these fucking games. Shit, we gotta do something, man. They label us black, our history snatched. We don't even know where the fuck we came from. They gave you another name, watched it and gave you another brain. We used to be scholars till they gave us dollars. You gotta realize this a fucking game, so make sure you play it right. When you give it your all, you sleep when you lay at night. I am a ray of light, that's an affirmation, something that you can say alright. I hope this word get exposed, I swear this cycle's getting old. How we giving all our children shit, we couldn't deal with it. Shit from further from their souls, this world is so cold. Think to myself like damn, sometimes I don't wanna have babies. Like damn, what they gon' have faith in? I guess all I can say is, damn, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, where youngins be selling us dope and politicians sell us hope. We never noticed all the power we got in our hands. They trick us and tell us to vote. Why should I care about July 4th? That one what my people died for was given religion and put up in a wicked system. But this shit won't our choice, so just find yours. There's different meanings of freedom, you need to define yours. Republic or Democrat, I don't get into that. They gotta give us back our voice. Cause how can the president speak for me? Or clean up the streets and find peace for me? They can't part the Red Sea for me. If I thought that, then I ain't even free. I'm just trying to tell them, the hand they dealing us is deadly. Let's come together for protection. They use the air, food, and water as weapons for harming my essence. It's time that we check it. I need my people to help me. The time is now, we need plans. But we ain't got no hope, so we apply, go vote and say, y'all don't know, just keep praying. Damn, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill.
I don't want y'all to look at this land. We're going to look at some stuff, but when it comes to time, you guys wasting so much time. I got something in store for y'all today.
I think that if you take one of the O's out of good, it's God. If you add a D to evil, it's the devil. I think some cool motherfuckers sat down a long time ago and said, let's figure out a way to control motherfuckers. And that's what they came up with, the Bible. Because if the guy wrote the Bible, I'm sure it would have been a revised copy by now. You know what I'm...
Okay, let's get to it. This, I'm gonna start first. I gotta say what's on my mind with this community. All these people that are dealing in the low level, include myself, because I've been dealing in this community for about a year now. And yes, thank you, Darius. Positivity. I need that. And it's like ever since I've been in this community, I've been doing nothing but trying to be positive, encourage people, share information, build on people's platforms and, share with them different ideas and thoughts. And I've also learned different things from others' perspectives as well. That's the point of building, trying to, grow information with people, right? So what I'm astounded by is that when trying to do that, instead of people trying to build the energy up to, make it stronger, more powerful, things of that nature, what they choose to do is stagnate themselves and others. including the ones that tried to bring people out of that spot, is what I'm realizing. I was just on a panel, and this Moorish princess, I don't even know this chick. All I know is that she is PNF's girlfriend. And she actually has made like 3 videos on me. And she said something about me saying something to Decalico, which has nothing to do with you. Even if I did, whatever I was doing, that's none of your business. What are you worried about that for? And then um, when I have a problem with what's going on with people, and then when I defend myself against people's rudeness or whatever, I get upset, and then it's like, oh, you're so horrible, you're too old for that, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, how can you tell me how to react when someone has treated me, hey sis, peace, when someone has treated me away, or being disrespectful or rude, or talking to me any kind of way, to just ignore it? Yeah, maybe I should. A lot of times people can be the bigger person, but I'm not always the bigger person when it comes to my emotions. So, excuse me. If you can help me in that area, do that. But other than that, I think that people like to waste time in this community. People like to distract people in the community. They like the chaos. They like to keep it up. They'll be one-sided with something so that they can edge things on. Then they'll come over, try to smooth it out on the other side. It's really just a lot of distraction, things that are going to make you not remember what you're talking about, not know what's going on with the current important things that are happening. You know what I'm saying? So, let me do this. I said I'm going to start with this build. I wanted to do, I'm trying to see, maybe I should start with the pictures first. Let me go back. Maybe just this particular one. I can, yeah, I probably need to go into the information before you guys, let me do information before. I'm going to start reading this in regards to time and quantum physics, and not only that, with a person being able to be trapped in their mind state, because I believe, or I feel, based off some certain information, that when you are in your mind trap, it keeps you in a certain space. And that space is affected by a certain time, because time moves with the space. And if space is not being occupied correctly, then the mind can also be subjected to, quite a few things that aren't beneficial. So I'm going to read this, and we'll go from there. The problem of time is a deep paradox in our physical description of the world. According to Aristotle's relational theory, time is a measure of change and does not exist on its own. In contrast, quantum mechanics, just like Newtonian mechanics, is equipped with a master clock that dictates the evolution of a system. This clock is infinitely precise and tactily supplied, free of charge from the outside physics. Not only does this absolute time make it notoriously difficult to make a consistent theory of quantum gravity, it is also the underlying problem in establishing the Second War. Indeed, contrary to our experience, the Wheeler-DeWitt equation 3 and 4, there's some examples we'll be looking at. A canonical quantization of general relativity predicts a static universe. Static, of course, energy. Similarly, when simply concerned with the dynamics of a closed quantum system, there is no second law, because the non-Newman entropy is invariant under unitary transformations. Here we are mainly concerned with the latter problem, and we show that it can be resolved by attributing a minimal amount of resources to the measurement of time. Although there is no absolute time in quantum mechanics, an observer can only establish a time by measuring a clock for a local measurement. The minimal entropy production is equal to the number of ticks. This lower bound is attained by a black hole, obviously. Reversible microscopic dynamics in the microscopic arrow of time can be reconciled by taking into account the cost of information. The connection between information and thermodynamics is established most directly in Maxwell's demon thought experiment, examples 5 and 6. We'll see those a little later on the other page, in which a demon with demon with access to the microscopic state of a system can violate the second law, as illustrated in Figure 1. Here's Figure 1 over here. I'm not very good with quantum mechanics, so I'm so sorry I can't break that down. Anyone that, can, great, but yeah. Let's just stick to this time aspect. This in turn led Szilard to design, this is in the quantum mechanics actually, this is, I think it's physics or some type of math. I'm not familiar with, I'm not very proficient with math, so I will not even pretend to act like I know what it is. It is some type of equation, maybe algebra, no, it's not algebra. It's like chemistry, or I don't know what the heck it is. But it's some complicated math. Let's just say that. So when it comes to that, I can't really break down the equation, but if you are familiar with it, you guys can look this up and, break it down yourself. All right. This in turn led, such a device was actually implemented by applying non-equilibrium feedback manipulation on a Browniable particle. The apparent paradox was not fully resolved until the Laudeler introduced the notion of logical irreversibility, by which he attributes the cost to the erasity of to the erasure of a memory. Maxwell's demon can therefore not beat the second law, as he has to erase the records of his measurements that was needed to open the shutter appropriately. A similar analysis can be applied to the objection raised by Loschmidt and Boltzmann's proof, which is going to be in example 9. That's probably on page 4. 10. That's probably on page 4, because there's only 4 pages to this, guys. And the entropy allows the increase. He'd actually argued that the inverting of the velocities of the particles in a gas that had undergone some entropy increases would bring the entropy back to its initial value, as illustrated in Figure 1. Once again, I can't resolve that issue with you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not a mathematician. It would be against the spirit of the second law to invoke any practical implementation aspects of the inversion of the velocities. He also could, for example, have fulfilled his task by giving each molecule a kick in the right direction. Again, it is required to know which kicks to apply. If we assume Loschmidt to know that the initial condition of the gas, knowing the Hamiltonian is sufficient to know all positions and velocities at any time, we thus conclude that with the solution to the equations of the motion and the sufficiently accurate clock, the inversion of the dynamics can be achieved. That'll be in Figure 2 down, I believe it's down here. Yes, right there. Okay. Since the clock is a physical resource, it appears that his paradox would be solved by measuring time produced as an entropy, at least as large as the entropy reduction in the gas. The other guy, Wigner, already remarked that a clock is an essentially non-microscopic object, which will be in Figure 11. But we are not aware of a solution in the paradox of these particular terms. A fundamental analysis of the entropy requires a quantum mechanic treatment. We therefore consider a quantum quench setting where a system is prepared in a known quantum state that is not an end state of a Hamiltonian. I cannot say this word for some reason. I'm tongue-tied. I'm a little ear stuffed up. I believe it's Hamiltonian. The Hamiltonian allows to compute the state of the system at any time. So, where the states are in the eigen states of the Hamiltonian with the energy e to the ninth power cn equals n whatever this is. I'm sorry, guys. The definition of the entropy of a closed quantum system that has recently attracted a great amount of attention in relation to the second law is the so-called diagonal entropy in figure 12. We can reference that on the other page, even though I probably won't be able to read it because these equations are like, like way out of this world, maybe simple to some, but not me. It is computed as the Shannon entropy of the diagonal elements of the density matrix in the instantaneous eigenbasis of the Hamiltonian. Here it would read at all times after the quench SD equals blah 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 blah. It says that it. Sorry about that, guys. I actually did that by mistake. I'm trying to go over. Where were we? Okay, it is computed as the Shannon entropy of the diagonal elements of the density matrix in the instantaneous eigenbasis of the Hamiltonian. Here it would be read at all times after the quints of this particular theorem right here. It corresponds to the mission's information for an observer that has no time information at all, which is insufficient for all purposes. We thus have to define a proper time-dependent entropy as a simple but, as we will show, not to be physical definition of the time-dependent entropy. One could take a non-Newman entropy of the time average density matrix, which is another equation here. Unfortunately, I am not going to break down that equation because I have no way of understanding what exactly it's saying. But yeah. Let me check with the chat, see if anybody came in or left out. You're fine to go. Okay, basically. So yeah, guys. Now, this video that I'm making right now may be a little like not to your full understanding. The whole premise is that we are experiencing some issues with our time. I have a belief based off of some of the pictures I'm going to show you that there has been an actual alteration in the space that we're in, which is how time is actually asphyxiated. The time is actually space, a matter of space, where you're moving, certain things of that nature. So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to actually, wait a minute, I wanted to get more into the clock. I maybe should have pulled up a different book. Actually, I think I am. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get this pulled up real quick. Y'all gotta bear with me. Sometimes I am not as organized as I should be. And I am doing a lot right now. Pulling things together. It's been like hectic the last couple of weeks. That's why I haven't been able to go live too much. I've tried to do a live here and there, but in the same sense of things, I have been handling some very, very important business that hopefully I'll be able to pull you guys into very soon. But at this time, I am still kind of in the mix of, getting things in the proper order. So, in doing so, it's taking a lot of time. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one is more on like the mind. Oh, okay, real quick while I'm trying to find this book, and I'm going to get really annoyed if I can't, so give me a second here. I'm trying to look patiently. And don't want to have you guys waiting at the same time. I just kind of jumped into this live. I was actually going to jump into live talking about these weird freaking people that started to get on my nerves. I'm over in Red Squid's panel and getting to a whole argument over something somebody else is thinking I'm saying to them, and I'm not even talking to them. I'm talking about something else. And next thing you know, people telling their girlfriend to sick me and you know, all this. People making videos about me that I don't even deal with. I don't even know why they are even concerned about anything I do or say. So yeah, I've been kind of, dang, that's not it either. Hold on a second. I've been kind of distracted with, you know, handling business, so I haven't had time for live. So yeah, this was actually starting off as a very ignorant video because I was about to go off, but I decided not to. I just get tired of people annoying me and bothering me and getting on my nerves because they got these little weird antics they have going on. Alright, let me see, guys, if this is it. Give me about 2 seconds, because I swear some of these books have so many pages. I should have known that wasn't the right one. It was too easy with the 4 pages. That was actually just a dialogue on some of the quantum information relating to the time, but there's actually a very interesting book that helps kind of break down what I'm talking about. I started to start off with the pictures. You know, maybe I should have done that. That would probably help. I could have got a little more order that way, but let me see. I'm going to look again real quick and see if I am able to find it in my library here, because I do have a library that I pulled that out of thinking that was the one, but so let's see. I got a great live coming up on the 1st. Now that I'm going to make sure I am prepared for and ready for you guys to get it, because the information is going to be great. So make sure you guys don't miss that. Let's see. Where the heck is the book at? If I can't find it in a minute, I'm going to get into the pictures, and then maybe I can recall. I thought I may have emailed it to myself, so let me see. See what happened when you're distracted? See what happened when you don't have your mind in a proper place? I have enough distractions with this internet not working properly, so I should definitely let me see if this is it. I should definitely, you know, make sure that my mind is in the right place when starting my live. That's a little inconsiderate to you guys, so I do apologize, because I was not properly prepared at the time. I just wanted to go into my rant, so on and so forth, which wasn't right, and that's exactly why everything did not work out the way I wanted it to. But I did catch myself. I didn't feed into it. No, that's not it either. This is like really crazy, y'all, I swear. So many things have been deleted off of my my little library here. I was looking for something the other day and couldn't find it. It's like, this is not making sense. Let's leaving the page. I accidentally you know, took it out, but I didn't believe so. Let's see. Damn, is this it? This is really crazy. I'm gonna end up deleting this video because or either something else, because this is like absurd, y'all. Whoever in here with me right now, I know y'all are like so freaking bored with me. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just like trying to get it together. Or maybe y'all just came here to give me my peace of mind because I was about to go into an ignorant ass rant and I started, but then I caught myself, and this distracted me. So maybe that was a good thing. I just get tired of people really getting on my nerves, and because of that, oh wait a minute, this may be it. Let's see. Let's see if this is C. Excuse me, guys. Should be sleeping. Trying to catch up on some rest from the last 4 weeks. Oh, this is it. Oh, but it's more than. I don't even think I should get into this right now. This is really like my bad. Hold on. Yep. This is it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do some picks and be out of here because I don't think I'm prepared for this right now. I should have been, doing something more productive with myself instead of feeding into ignorance and let myself get caught up in my emotions. So I'm gonna play you guys a couple of picks, play a little bit of music till I get ready to get off of here, so I can at least, let's see, relax myself out of the evening. Play a couple of jammy jams real quick. I'm gonna play it. Talk about being breatharian. And yeah, actually let me play Job Brick's new song. Where is it? I didn't play that yet, did I? No, I'll wait till I do that for the live. See how I'm distracted I am, guys? Okay, I'm gonna play this video on breatharian, and in the meantime, we're gonna watch these videos. These pictures. Hey guys, I'm going to show these same pictures again when I do this video on the information, guys.
The right people and spread the awareness regarding health. So I met Elitom 4 months ago at a retreat.
Why am I
and since then we are in touch, and this time when he was coming, he contacted and we started arranging the seminars, the retreats, the talks. So here we are. Elitom, over to you with your life story.
Hi, my name is Elitom Elamine, and I'm a breatharian. And a breatharian is a person that can use very little or not at all. Now, I grew up in Ohio, USA. And growing up in Ohio, USA,
I'm sorry. Let me let y'all hear this.
I grew up in a family where my mother made sure that we always had food within the household. She made sure so much that we had extra freezers, extra refrigerators, and we actually fed the whole neighborhood. So me growing up in this type of household, when I finally broke away and got my own family and got married, that idea too was in my head to always have enough food to feed your family, and I also bought extra freezers, extra refrigerators, because that was the idea, to always have food available. Now, as time went forth, I began to gain more and more weight, and I began to feel very bad. However, everybody in my reality, growing up in America, because it was encouraged to eat the 3 meals a day, however, it was the 5 meals a day and the big portions, that was commonplace where I grew up at. So, however, I began to gain more and more weight, really feel bad about myself. And then one day, as I had to go see the doctor, my blood pressure began to rise, and a whole lot of other things began to come into play.
Ley lines, everything that mirrors what's down here.
I ran into a man who said, "Won't you just
if you guys can
alone?"
see that.
Now, at that time, being desperate and my health really feeling bad, I was willing on doing anything, so I left the meats alone.
Breath is
and
life.
At that time, I didn't realize it, but that was the motivation to lead me into the pranic journey by leaving those heavier foods alone. So not only I left the meats alone, I began to also put an exercise routine in my lifestyle. And then I began to learn more about holistic foods, being more vegan, learn more about live and raw foods. But then it got good. I started learning more about fasting. I started fasting once a week, and it started out for religious purposes. But as time went on, I started to learn about meditation. Now, learning about meditation, that gave me the knowledge to learn about the energy channels within the body. Now, there was a time I didn't know they existed or not. But as I went into the practice and began to focus on those different energy channels, I began to get a boost of energy. It began to better my health, give me more energy. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was already on the pranic journey. Because the pranic journey is a holistic health message.
Pranic.
So as time went on, I went more into 80% live and raw foods. My meditation, I really stayed with it. And I was so proud of what I did with my health. I got rid of all of that weight. I went from 180 pounds to 160 pounds, and I really felt good about myself. Then one day a young lady said to me, there's people who can live without eating. And I said, what? So I began to go check that information. Now, 19 years ago, because I've been on this path 19 years, they really didn't have that much information like today. But anyway, I did the best I can. I tried to find the most information I can. And what I found that there was a 21-day process at the time that was in circulation. However, I didn't have enough money to take 21 days off of work. I just got married, just bought a house. So what gave me my confidence that I could pull this off, since I didn't have enough money to go
I wish I
out of
could
the
read
country
this. I
for 21
really wish I
days,
could read this.
is that the improvements I've
Crazy.
already made on my health.
Language
I
is
was
something
already
else.
living a life of 80% live and raw. I was already in the fasting once a week. I was already meditating constantly, and I was already exercising. So I seen all of these health improvements. Now again, I didn't know this was the pranic journey already. That's why I teach people on this type of
This is the
level.
ley lines I keep telling you guys
First you
about.
gotta learn how to eat. First you
Controlling
gotta
of the
put
ley
exercise
lines.
into your life, fasting and so forth, and meditation, because that's the foundation of living on prana. So anyway, when I found out about it, and I started to study as much as I can, I went into food freedom. Now,
There's that Marine's wheel again. The Marine's
body
wheel
was easy to get into
for
a
water,
food-free
controlling
state.
water.
But the problem was the accumulated habits that I've done throughout the years of eating. And food is all around you. And my son just did a real good research on food and its association with drug addiction. Your body does give off reward centers of oxytocin, dopamine. And when you're dealing with foods that you love and you've created this habit, this is what the human being is up against. So anyway, I went on to the pranic levels, and there's many different levels and degrees. So I learned how to eat once a day. I learned how to eat every 3 days. So I understood that as I kept learning more and more and more about being on this path, because keep in mind, you cannot really tell an experience. You have to go through the experience to learn about it. So as I was going through this
See the
experience,
star and the
this is what
compass.
makes me such a good, credible teacher today.
See
is
the
because I
moon, the
put
crescent
myself
moon, the
to
star, the
engage this
compass.
experience.
This
So
is from
here with my son, as he was
1544.
growing up, I
This is
decided
talking
to eat
about the
once
time
every
and
other
the
weekend
space.
to maintain our relationship, because that's my son that I have created. But also, I've already broke the rules of what they said that was normal or how you should eat.
Controlling everything.
and how
Looks
much
like from that
calories you
North
need and
Pole,
so
the
forth.
black
Now, a
dot.
lot of people mistake this for binge eating, but this is not
Look at
binge
this.
eating at all. Because
Man,
keep in
if I
mind,
could
said
read this.
meditation is the foundation,
Look at this.
And I've been meditating
If I could read
for
this,
years.
what is
In
this?
other words, I've been meditating so much that actually living on prana is a walking meditation. I'm meditating right now. I'm
Prana is
meditating
air,
every day.
breath.
Because the more you can hold the light into your body, hold that frequency, that vibration, you don't need to keep jumping back to physical foods. So that's the person's problem. You got to get used to this new vibration. So anyway, as I've been on this
This
path,
is what we're looking
I got
at right
stronger
now,
and
right? Is
stronger
actually
to where
what
as my son
everything
got
is looking
grown,
like. This
I
is the
didn't need to
space.
eat every other weekend
They
right
keep
now.
telling you there's
So
a
right now,
space,
I
there's
don't
a
eat no
space,
food
there's a
at all.
space.
And I don't do
This is the
liquids
spaces
also.
that we that
Because
are
that's just
beyond the
another
wall that we
frequency.
reach.
And
There's
the
no
reason being is because
upper
this
space.
experience
There's
that I'm
only
having is
the
an exploration of
space that
consciousness.
goes
I don't
further
know what it
out.
feels like to eat. You understand? So therefore, to explore this consciousness, most people just look at it as being in their head. But your consciousness is your physical body. I am what I think. So therefore, I have robust health.
Don't let these people keep telling you this is the only plane.
That you have accumulated
like, really.
There is no in between.
This is our sky that outlines everything, that controls the atmosphere and innosphere within you.
I'm living a life, living in heaven. I'm living a life with no problems. There's no blockages. Because I've let the lower vibration of light alone. That's what food is. It's a lower vibration of light. But there's what you call UV light. UV means ultraviolet. Ultra means above or beyond the visible light. So I'm being sustained by those invisible forces that's in the air, that's in the solar power. You understand?
In the air, in the solar power.
But by opening up your energy channel, your body is already connected with it. So
energy.
Again,
this is all energy. The ley lines being controlled. They have been controlling the ley lines to keep you closed in a certain space.
Also show them and take them into the practices to open up their energy channels in their body. Everybody has them. You are an energy being, and that's all you work with. And the more you can get the understanding to work with yourself, you will grow and get stronger energetically. You will grow health-wise. Your sleep will decrease. You will have a happier and healthier life.
This is supposed to be the planisphere. This is
for
actually an
humanity.
outline of the planet
So again,
that we're on, the walking plane.
And there's other
Believe it or
beings
not,
that's coming
might
out
sound
more and
strange,
more.
but it's the
And you
truth.
don't need to go to information about people who
These are showing the
dead.
different sequences
Today you
of
have
how
most
the
information
solar
that's
system is
ever been
affected
out
by
there
the sun.
on a human being to make this
I can't enlarge this
transition
enough to
to
read
work
any of
more
this,
with the
guys.
light.
I'm sorry, but it's
Even
telling you about
medical
the different
science is backing
so-called
this up. They're showing you
planispheres,
medical
what the planes
benefits
are,
of
as
the
I just
sun,
showed you before.
medical benefits of breathing, medical benefits of exercising, medical benefits of fasting. You put all
It
this
shows you
together.
the implementation
you
of
will grow
planning on
energetically into
the
this
solar,
nuclear mind
which
shift.
is the
And
inner
you can
self,
eat very little
everything
or
that is
none at all
inside of
because
us.
we're energy beings
When they're
by
talking
our
about
nature.
solar.
Now, I hope I told a lot. And like again, being on this path is the best life I ever lived. Some people say, do I get the temptation to eat food? No, I don't. Because you developed within yourself
Let's show you
a
here
feeling
first.
state
Let's go
and a
here.
desire to live in a life.
This is
To
the
live with
brain.
the subtle energy vibrations.
Right.
You don't like the way that the lower vibration makes you feel anymore.
That's
you
right.
outgrow it just like a kid outgrowing
Still
a
let
toy.
myself get in
So
that
therefore,
crap.
people who still struggling in and out, that's okay. If you stay consistent, there'll be a
Oh, I've
period of
been eating
time
stuff
when you
I
will
shouldn't have been
rotate
eating the last
and
few
start
months. It's
enjoying
been
a
crazy.
higher frequency vibration.
I know better.
And I hope everybody will stay consistent and stay on these levels. And even if you choose to still eat, learn how to eat, learn how to keep your quantities small,
Right.
and keep health first. Because food freedom is a byproduct of perfect health. And right now, I'm in perfect health.
That's right. Less food keeps you at the physical. So, it's all about the mind. This picture is a representation of that. The implementation of the controlling of the mind, the cortex, the sulcus cinguli, the cingulate gyrus of the limbic cortex, the cerebellum, the spinal cord, which connects the brain stem as well right here, the pituitary gland, the pituitary stalk, the pons, the optic tract, the optic nerve, and the tissues of the sylvius. These things all are affected in your brain, and this so-called time actually does have a lot to do with that. So these pictures, as I said, they kind of depict things that have been happening with the weather. You may not get or understand it fully, but you can see this is the wind, the clouds, the sun, energy, things of that nature. And there is a riding upon with this entity, right, on this white goat. This isn't even a horse. This is a goat. Keep that in mind, okay? Hold on. when I look at these old books, they really show you a lot of things that, they keep memories of. This doesn't look too clear to you guys, but this is like a little beast, and it's interpreting certain things. If this is the correct, like the, what you call it, the Baphomet, and it's showing how bringing the book or the Bible. Now this is the Baphomet, or they would consider the devil, so-called, bringing the Bible or the book to the lands. I think that picture was in there twice. Frequency. These are frequency waves, right? I talked to you guys a lot about the wave formatting. The wave formatting is actually the energy or the frequency waves that are attached to you via a certain particular energy. Depending on what you're putting inside of yourself, as you just listened to the breatharian, when you're putting in food, it takes you to a certain frequency, a lower frequency. There were studies. This was just one of the particular pictures I pulled out. There are a couple of them, but it shows like frequency in the air. These are areas that are affected by certain frequency, melody makers, and like a friction or like a static. This is particular to certain areas having certain genes. The genes based off of the ley lines and certain frequencies that have been affected by certain energies, and particularly the soil, and so on and so forth. Just kind of shows a little bit of the distribution of everything. This is actually real space and matter. Space and matter, is like, crazy here. So I'm gonna actually get to, hold on guys, I gotta get to a different album here. Oh, Mind's Eye, peace Mind's Eye. Sama JB25, peace to you, brother. Thanks for coming through. Yes, that's right, brother. Yes, sis. So hold on one second. I'm gonna get to this other album, get this info pulled up for you guys real quick. It's talking about the frequencies. Hold on a second. This is why I always talk about the ley lines. I always talk about energy. I always talk about all these different things that are showing you the manipulation, even though people may not believe, feel, or think, or understand how important it is. I get really frustrated with trying to make importance out of matters. People like to talk about certain things, and certain things are so important to be, discussed on their panels or their platforms. But when it comes to the seriousness of certain things, you can only take it so far. People don't like to go in depth, and it may be boring, it may not be interesting or entertaining enough. There's not enough arguing, so on and so forth. I can be rude. I can be really rude when I'm being, talked to, disrespected, or being treated in a certain manner. So it's best for me to just stay away from these platforms. I thought I had a platform that I was comfortable on, where people were treated fair. But as I'm being talked to any kind of way, because I'm saying things that they feel are inappropriate, I'm the one that is put in the back. And people are allowed to keep talking and mentioning things about how they feel about me. So in that aspect, that lets me know maybe the respect isn't as genuine as I thought, and I will stay away from these people that do not have the same respect for me that I give to them. And we're going to start right there. This shows you a frequency of how the energy in your body is affected depending on the emotions you're going through. When it comes to fear, there's a low frequency. It is a a very long, slow wavelength that activates very few of your DNA coding sites, right? When it comes to high frequency things of like love, so we think about love, there's joy, excitement, these type of things. All these particular things, they go on a frequency of love, and as you can see, it's a high frequency. It's short, fast wavelength. You're going short and fast to activate a lot of DNA coding. So it's important how your emotions play on you. You know how you are heavy laden. You'll hear like, oh, a person was having heavy laden, so on and so forth. These things, oh wow, you know what? I'm not even sharing. I'm just showing the picture. Lord, hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up. Man, that's too much for me. I tell you, I crack myself up too. Okay, now as you can see, fear. Here it is again. This is the low frequency. It's slow and long wavelength. It has very few DNA codes that can be activated. These are the DNA code sites. So if it's only catching like certain codes because it's moving so slow, you're not activating certain DNA codes, binary frequencies within yourself. When you're operating, as I said, out of love and these certain things, there's high, low, and quick, short wavelength that activates these particular codes because it has the frequency to reach more of them because it's taking the space. The space isn't like wide and expanding and skipping over certain DNA codings, right? Okay. This is another aspect of some of this time stuff where the ley lines are used to manipulate. I'm a person that's fascinated with pictures. They kind of tell a story a lot of times, so you have to kind of use your mind. This one particularly right here, as you guys see, this is the clock, right? Okay. And it's showing you, it's also showing you that the maritime clock wheel right here, you guys see it, but it's a regular clock, right? You see the minute, you see the second hand, it's a regular clock. It's also showing you, look, the death. You see these are skulls. This is a skull. This is what I would think is an indigenous person. I can't. Well, let me see. Let me just turn. I can turn it. It just may. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Dang it! It went back. Hold on. I didn't want to go back. Let me go back again. One more time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is an image of an indigenous man, right? You guys see that? It's an image of an indigenous man. But just make sure you can see it clearly, okay? Now, you can see the skulls right here, right? Let me go turn it back again. Okay. Now you can see the skulls and everything around it as well, right? You see the skulls, horizontal, horologism, whatever this is. You know, these are, I believe these are like Latin words. And you can see there's a skull, there's another skull. The skull is blowing the breath on this time. It's blowing the breath on the time, as well as the energy of the so-called sun here, which may be, I'm not really sure, but you can see here, if you can grasp this, it's showing 3 smaller suns that is minimizing or taking, controlling or encasing, because around here, you see everything is like, you know, being trapped. Is showing encasing. You know, there were more than like, you know, we have like 6 or 7 suns, I believe. So here we go again, showing more skulls, death, and look at it. This is the same thing. It's a face of a man, and it's showing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the 6 suns. So I believe it was 6 suns, and I believe that it's actually showing the minimizing or the death of the sun. Let's see. Man, if I could read this stuff, I'll tell you. But this is actually showing you obviously ley lines and the space and time as well. Okay. Same thing. Here we have an entire plane These are like pictures of certain things. Here we have again that same maritime clock right here for sea, which controls controlling of the sea, right? So why would the controlling of the sea be? And it says septino, and it says maritime down here. Meridies, whatever that is. Meridies, maybe it's saying the meridian, Meridies, and Oriens, the orientation, oxidines. I'm not sure what that would mean, but yeah. And here's the septentrion, which we see that a lot. Okay. Same thing. Here it is again. The maritime clock showing you full scope. Here's the what is Servalit Pro something. This reminds me of something that's written on the dollar bill. I don't have a dollar bill on me, so I can't really compare it. I have cash right now, so when not having the cash on me, I can't compare it. But I wish I had a bill on me. Dang, I need a $1 bill. Okay. Either way, let's keep it moving. Man, anybody speak Spanish in the chat? Anybody speak Spanish? Mine's eye. Mine's eye. Let me see if Mine's eye want to come up and join me real quick, and kind of go over a few of these pics with me, because you are actually an artist. Perfect. I don't know if you're working or if you're busy, bro, but if not, come up here real quick. Maybe you can kind of help me a little bit with some of these pictures. I'm actually just kind of dissecting them now. I'm going to pull them back up when I read this information, but since I started this live and I was able to catch myself and try to be as best as I could, I started to just go ahead and do this information, but I can't rush through this. I have to really take my time. Okay, so with the pictures, though, I don't mind going through them and, you know, descriptively talking about them, so on and so forth. Yeah. So this particular one, as you can see, is showing the signs. I think I showed you guys no, I actually showed that on Squid Panel. I'm gonna stop bringing my information to other people that act really rude with me. This is showing I thought this was very interesting. See, I was showing the world how they were sitting around mapping out, oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do that. They have these ships selling out to do. I just thought that was crazy. Then this lights up here. This picture was like phenomenal to me too. Some of these pictures have deeper meaning, but you have to have, you know, the know-it-all to read and understand the viewer, nature, and climates. So these we went over, I believe. Let me go back. Yeah, I did go back. I'm going backwards. Am I going backwards? Yes, I think I may have bypassed a few. Don't hold on a second. Yep, I did. Okay. This may be out of a different album, so it was showing, yeah. Hold on, guys. Okay. This one is like kind of crazy too. Let's see. You can actually see this. This looks like a shell. You know, a seashell. I'm not really sure what's going on with this pic, but man, this is another crazy one. I love pictures. I like to try and, you know, break down information in them. Sometimes you can, you know, kind of pull a picture in your mind based off what you're looking at. Some of these pictures, when you can't read it, it makes it a little harder, but they're still phenomenal nonetheless. And I know this has something to do with time. I'm not exactly sure, but it definitely has something to do with time. Here's another one. This one I know has a lot to do. They talk a lot about like the inner earth and where chaos comes from asunder, so on and so forth. This is one that shows actually that the hell. This is supposed to be like hell, I guess, and like lava coming down. But then there's this tree of life, and it's saying all these things. Here's the chaos. It's got like all these different things on it. I thought was kind of absurd. These pictures are kind of crazy too. Yeah, they're pretty phenomenal. Yeah. See these branches, they look crazy. But you know, this is what it looks like inside of your body, like literally. Like this is like your spine. All of these things would be the different nerve endings, so on and so forth. Yeah. That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, showing here's the same pic I was showing you guys earlier. Showing the same thing, which is really with the brain in this, you know, I don't get it. I know somebody would know this picture. I think I've heard someone talk about it before. But, oh wait a minute. These are showing like different, I think, eclipses at certain times, you know, which is another phenomenon when it comes to eclipse. These are from like the 1500s. And I probably would need to know a little bit more about these particular areas. Yeah, I like to try and figure stuff out based off like why would they have all this stuff on this map. That's another thing. Why is all this stuff on here? You're talking about certain things, and you know, if you don't really get it, it leads you to wonder, but still phenomenal all the less. All the less. There's less information for me to get or understand. Yeah, this one's pretty much the same. Kind of showing most of American area. This is the Americas as well. This one says this something with everything again. Married. Brazil. America. I think there's Marites, Canales, whatever that is. Oh, this is going to get more into the shaping of man. Yeah, I'm going to leave the rest of these pictures for the build. Peace and love, hope. Peace and love. Yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I was actually, I think I did pretty good. Yeah, I didn't really fulfill the build I wanted to, but I did keep myself from going off on a bunch of weird stuff I was feeling. I swear I keep saying I'm going to stay off these panels as soon as I find a panel. What's crazy is I'll find a panel that I'm comfortable going on. The people that act weird with me, right, they'll start to come to that panel at that time, as is to... okay, we'll come and crowd over here and start to ostracize the person out that we don't want to be bothered with. Even though they've known the person just as long, but like I've been over there for like the longest, and I don't even see people come over there now that they've been seeing me over there. Here they come. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, I don't need to be around that nasty negative energy. Always having something negative to say to me, and then when I flip out, I'm the one that's bad. So what your girl's going to do is just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm actually handling so much personal stuff to take myself out of the way of all this nonsense and being able to be in a position to actually help others that deserve it and that need the help. And that's what I'm doing. Whether people know it or not, that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm actually helping people in the community. I'm not playing around or like wasting time or like any of that stuff, whether you know it or not. You just wouldn't know because I'm doing it in the private. And those that are ignorant and rude, they wouldn't know because, hey, I'm just not gonna let you be privy to that information because, you know, your ignorance will keep you baffled. So there's not much more I can say about that. All right, guys. Peace, love, blessings. I am out. I will definitely get this time video. I was mentioning yesterday. There's like 5 videos I have to do. One on the first I'm definitely going to do because I scheduled it out and it should give me enough time to get it done. And then maybe I can follow up. By that time, I'll have all of this business taken care of and I'll actually have a little bit of freedom to do a little bit more. I actually like sharing information. It frees my mind, allows me to feel like I'm being productive, not only for myself, for others, but for others. And regardless to whether some love or hate me, I could care less. But those that love me, peace, love, blessings, and I am out.